Hey everybody, welcome to this week's answer session of Ask Dr. Dan. Again, this week we were talking about the IPL. The IPL again stands for Intense Pulse Light and can treat various conditions such as spider veins, hair removal, acne. It can help with fine lines and wrinkles. It can do skin rejuvenation. There are lots of treatments. It works for the face and body as well. So let's get to the questions. The first question is how many treatments does it take and how often? So the answer for both of those is it depends on what you're treating. So it can be anything from hair removal on certain body parts. The treatments are every 8 to 10 weeks, and you can eat up to 10 sessions. And then something like some sun damage or hyperpigmentation, you might only need like 4 to 6 treatments and every 3 to 4 weeks. So depending on the area that we need and the condition that needs to be treated, all of that varies. If you come in and we do a consult, depending on what condition you have, we talk about how many treatments and how often. Second question is, does it hurt? So IPL does create some heat. It's usually very comfortable. What I like about my IPL, it's through a company called Viora. They really take the time to make their products very comfortable. So they incorporate cooling into the system so that it's very cool to the touch, so you don't get that extreme heat response. The older IPLs used to be much more uncomfortable, but the newer ones are much better. The third question, is there any recovery? So as opposed to the VST that we talked about last week where there really isn't any recovery, there is a little bit of recovery with this. So you have to avoid any strenuous activity like exercise, also things like hot tubs, saunas, anything that's going to increase blood flow to the area that you treated for about 5 days. If you don't, it will get very hot in that area and can become very uncomfortable. You also have to stay out of the sun for about 2 weeks with that area, and also just wear a really good sunscreen. So there is a little bit more recovery involved with the IPL, but still, I mean, you can go to work, you don't have to stop doing what you're doing, anything like that. And then you also just have to keep the area clean for a few days, so nothing drastic. And then the last question is, does it work on all skin and hair colors? So skin color, yes. So from very light skin to very dark skin, you can use IPL. Again, the older types of IPLs, you couldn't treat the darker skin types because you did risk actually damaging the skin. But with the newer IPLs, they have specific filters for the darker skin types, so all skin types can be treated. As far as hair color goes, you can treat any color hair for things like the vascular lesions or the hyperpigmentation. For hair removal though, if people have very, very blonde hair or gray hair, the treatment will not work. It will not work for hair removal because what it's working on is the pigment in the hair. So if there isn't a lot of pigment, it's not going to take the hair away. That being said, things like strawberry blonde or even blonde hair with some pigment in it, you can get the results you're looking for. It might just be a little bit higher energy and it might take a few more treatments. So that's it for the questions this week. I hope you all have a great weekend. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at Apex Center for Regenerative Medicine. Don't forget to like us on Instagram at RegenerateNJ. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page where you can see all of the past Ask Dr. Dan's as well as other videos such as hormone lectures at Apex Center for Regenerative Medicine. Remember, don't operate, regenerate.